Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap. We all know that previous year papers play a very important role with respect to the preparation for any examination including NABARD Grade A. So as a part of this session, we are going to analyze the NABARD Grade A 2024 previous year paper. It will help us to understand the difficulty level, and we will also use this paper to understand that how we can optimize our strategy with respect to NABARD Grade A 2025. But before we discuss all these things, what you can do, you can go to the description box, click over the link, and from there you can download this ebook, because this ebook contains the pattern with respect to NABARD Grade A. It will also provide you decoded syllabus that will help you to understand the different components with respect to this examination, and it will also provide you a detailed strategy. So get your free copy. Now, moving back to the video, let us talk about this previous year paper. And before we begin that, let me tell you the main objective. The main objective is basically to tell you that what type of content you could have written in an organized manner, fine, and secondly, very importantly, what was the difficulty level of this question and how we are going to analyze the difficulty level. We will try to analyze the difficulty level by knowing the source with respect to that question, क्योंकि अगर क्वेश्चन का जो सोर्स है वो बहुत ही कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है, अगर कुछ न्यूज में चल रहा था, बहुत ही रैंडम सोर्स है, सो ऑफ कोर्स द क्वेश्चन इज डिफिकल्ट टू हैंडल. बट if the question is very much straightforwardly from the syllabus, then I would say the job becomes easier. So we will see all these things as a part of this video, and let us move on to the question number one. Fine. And this document, by the way, you can download this document from the Telegram channel. We are going to share it over there. So let me open the question number one. And the question number one is, what are the benefits of post harvest management, value addition, and supply chain development in horticultural crop? And the question is a 15 marker question. Now, first of all, let us see the difficulty level. I would categorize this question in the as a moderate to easy type of question. And even if not easy, even if we call it moderate, because the question was a bit lengthy, you had to answer three type of things. The first is the benefit of post harvest management, then the value addition, and the supply chain development in horticulture crops. So three bodies you had to create. So that's why I would say the question was a bit lengthy, but I would say the content that had to be written as a part of this question was very easy. Why is it so? Because this question straightforwardly has been asked from the syllabus. You can see I pasted a screenshot over here. This screenshot I've taken from the syllabus only, and you can see that post harvest management, value and supply चेन मैनेजमेंट ऑफ प्लांटेशन एंड हॉर्टिकल्चर क्रॉप. तो क्या एक क्वेश्चन बहुत डिफिकल्ट था आंसर करना? बिल्कुल भी नहीं. ठीक है, डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन हम उसे कहते हैं जो बहुत कुछ आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स आ जाए, जो बहुत ही अनएक्सपेक्टेड टाइप क्वेश्चन हो. बट वो क्वेश्चन जो डायरेक्टली आपसे सिलेबस से पूछा जा रहा है, वो सिलेबस का कीवर्ड्स यूज करके, दैट शुड बी एन एडवांटेज फॉर यू, not something that is difficult or challenging. So that is why I'm categorizing this question as easy to moderate level. Fine. Now if you see the model answer, now see, the purpose of this session is not to provide you knowledge कि यार horticulture crop क्या होती है, post harvest management के benefit क्या होते हैं. That is not the purpose. Because ultimately you can download this document and you can read it later on. But the main purpose is to discuss, is to analyze how you can basically structure this information. So of course, in order to answer this question, first of all, you are going to write some contribution with respect to the horticulture sector, fine, as a part of our agriculture. So you can use any kind of data in order to justify that information. So you can see, as it is written over here, that horticulture contributes around 30% of India's agricultural GDP, with India being the second largest producer of fruits and vegetables in the world as per Food and Agriculture Organization 2022, FAO 2022. Now the thing is that you might feel that this information is a bit lengthy. I mean, this introduction looks a bit lengthy, but let me tell you that the document has been written by keeping in mind that so that you get a good content with respect to the answer. The word limit has not been considered as a primary criteria. So of course, when you are writing this answer in the real examination, you will have to deduct few words so that basically you can fit it into the right word limit. Fine. So that is the idea. But you can see this is the first and the foremost thing, that is the introduction, where you can write some form of data. After that, of course, three things have been asked. That is the benefits of post harvest management, then the value addition, and the supply chain development. So of course they are going to be three bodies. Fine. So the first body is going to be benefits of post harvest management, the second body is going to be benefits of value addition, and the third is going to be benefits of ऑफ सप्लाई चेन डेवलपमेंट। अब एग्जाम में मुझे पता है इतने सारे पॉइंट्स नहीं आते, इतना सारा डेटा भी याद नहीं आता है, बट कोई बात नहीं। कोशिश करो कि अगर हर चीज के लिए अगर आप 3 पॉइंट भी लिख रहे हो, हर बॉडी के लिए 3 पॉइंट भी लिख रहे हो, कोशिश करो 3 में से 2 में डेटा डाल दो, या फिर एक में डेटा डाल दो और किसी एक में एग्जाम्पल डाल दो, बट ट्राई टू एड सम वैल्यू एडिशन। फाइन, डू नॉट राइट एन इनकम्प्लीट और आई वुड से generalized version of an answer. Try to make it complete by using the selective keywords. So for example, you can see according to National Horticulture Board, India loses India loses close to rupees 50,000 crore annually due to post harvest losses in horticulture sector, and it is so that basically shows the benefit of post harvest management with which we can deal such a type of problem. Fine, so similar type of, you can see here we have added an example that the shelf life of mangoes can be extended, and extension of shelf life. So all such sort of things can be written, and this is how you can basically structure your answer by using the right keywords. And at the end, of course, what you can do, you can write the conclusion also, a very short and precise conclusion, and I would say try to write a futuristic conclusion, a conclusion that contains some sort of way forward, that what could be the future measures that can be taken in order to improve the horticulture sector with respect to India. So you can write something like that. Fine. And was it covered as a part of EduTap course? Yes, it was covered, though I have removed the screenshot from this because I would say that is not the primary purpose of this session, but in the original document we had pasted a screenshot too. Fine. So now let us मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन। अब फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन से हमें क्या लेसन मिल रहा है कि यार सिलेबस तो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। ये सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट लेसन आप ले सकते हो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन से कि सिलेबस को किसी कीमत पर नहीं छोड़ना है। एक एक कीवर्ड, each and every keyword that is written as a part of the syllabus, you have to cover it. You cannot compromise with the syllabus. Fine, it is very important, it is extremely important, so please prioritize syllabus. That should be the first and the foremost priority as a part of your preparation. Let us move on to the second question and we will see what is the key takeaway with respect to this question number 2. Now the question number 2 is, India has seen a financial inclusion transformation from 2014 to 2024. What are the key government initiatives and the outcome of their efforts? अब मैं बताता हूँ ये क्वेश्चन इजी क्यों था। ठीक है, ठीक है, कुछ स्टूडेंट्स ऐसे हो सकते हैं जिन्हें फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन के बारे में डिटेल में ना पढ़ा हो। ठीक है, वो इस क्वेश्चन को छोड़ भी सकते थे क्योंकि 4 में से 6 क्वेश्चन करने होते हैं आपको एग्जामिनेशन में। फाइन, बट if you talk about that whether you could have answered this question or not, I would say definitely yes. Why is it so? Because if you see the last year paper of 2023, a similar type of question was asked with respect to financial inclusion over there. Fine, so you can see the value of India's score in RBI's financial inclusion index has increased in 2023. In this context, discuss the challenges to financial inclusion in India. And while understanding the previous year question, what is the biggest lesson that you can take? That if a certain question has been asked from a certain theme, then you have to cover that theme in a holistic manner, so that if any question gets repeated from that certain theme or from that certain area, you are in a position to answer that question. Fine, so that is, I would say, one of the most important things that you can do, and you have to follow that approach for the 2024 paper also in order to prepare for the 2025. अब 2024 में जो क्वेश्चन पूछे गए हैं आपको उन्हें एनालाइज करना है, उन सर्टेन थीम्स को रिकॉग्नाइज करना है, एंड यू हैव टू मेक श्योर दैट यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग दैट एरिया इन अ होलिस्टिक मैनर, in a proper manner, so that if here and there if the question is asked from that area, you are in a comfortable position to answer it. Fine, so you can see it over here. The question was regarding financial inclusion, and a similar type of question was asked in 2024 also, though the approach of the question is different, but I would say the theme is same. So I would say not a difficult question to answer at all. Fine, and if you are somebody who is following our YouTube initiative Perspective 360 degree also, where we do current affair based answer writing practice, you can go and see the playlist. We had covered this question. Fine, financial inclusion. तो ऐसा भी नहीं है कि बहुत रैंडम क्वेश्चन था, बहुत डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन था, ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं है, क्योंकि आप बैंक्स के बारे में, रूरल इंस्टीट्यूशंस के बारे में पढ़ते ही हो। ठीक है, एज अ पार्ट ऑफ योर प्रिपरेशन you covered this economic survey also sort of thing. So I would say if you had covered in a dedicated manner, you would have a good fodder material to answer this question. Fine, so you can see the approach with respect to this question is going to be pretty much straightforward. First of all, you're going to write something about financial inclusion. Fine, since the question is asking about transformative shift from 2014 to 2024, so you are going to write your, I would say, introduction accordingly. After that, of course, you are going to switch to the main body, that is the key government initiatives that have been taken, and you can write them, and then you can talk about the outcomes of the financial inclusion efforts. Fine, because the question is asking what is the key initiative and the outcome. So two things have been asked. So do not think that just because key initiatives and outcome have been asked, so you are going to create just one body and then you will write some sort of, I would say, content under it. I would say your answer would appear incomplete, because you won't be able to answer the question in a very precise manner. The demand of the question would not be completely addressed. So it is very important that you are creating two bodies. The first is initiatives that have been taken from 2014 to 2024, and what is the outcome of this efforts. Fine. So you can see this is body part 1, the key initiatives, for example, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, Aadhaar enabled payment system, Mudra Yojana, Digital India initiative, Jan Suraksha scheme, also sort of things. Then you can write the outcome कि यार उसका outcome आया. अब प्रधानमंत्री जन धन योजना आ गई तो क्या हुआ? What is the outcome? Number of banks account. Fine. So बैंक अकाउंट जो है वो इंक्रीज हो गई है. There has been increase in the bank account penetration. अब बैंक अकाउंट पेनिट्रेशन इंक्रीज होगी तो क्या होगा? लोग अपना पैसा जमा करेंगे, फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन होगी. फाइन, पीपल विल बी एबल टू सेव मोर. Fine, and it will help to it will and when more and more people are associated with the banks, what is going to happen? It becomes easier for the government to provide better delivery of the schemes such as DBT. Fine, also sort of things. So the scheme targeting becomes better and it will help to reduce poverty, vulnerability. ठीक है, डिजिटल ट्रांजेक्शन बढ़ेंगी. अब बिजनेसमैन है वो भी लोन ले सकेंगे because they now they have opened their accounts, so the small businessmen are there, they can avail the loan. So that is also another outcome. So in such a similar fashion you can write different type of outcomes as a part of it. Fine, you can see insurance also, empowerment of women or marginalized groups. So all these are nothing but these are the outcomes of this above initiatives. So अगर initiative एक बार लिख दिया तो खुद एक बार सोच के देखो कि यार इस initiative का क्या फायदा होगा, तो आपको खुद दिमाग में आ जाएगा. और कुछ डेटा यूज करो, कुछ एग्जांपल यूज करो and write the body part 2. I hope it is clear to all of you. Fine. Now let us move on to the question number 3. अब इस क्वेश्चन से हमें क्या take away mila? The main lesson from this question is that please go through the previous year question before appearing for the examination, and you have to identify that from which areas what type of questions were asked, and accordingly you can prepare those areas in a holistic manner. अब मैं ये नहीं कह रहा कि आपको सिर्फ वही पढ़ के जाना है, बट जो चीज़ें पढ़ के जानी है उनमें से ये एक ऐसी चीज़ है जिसको आपको ज़्यादा अच्छे से करना है. ठीक है, ताकि क्वेश्चन अगर रिपीट हो तो कोई भी ऐसा चांस ना हो कि आप उस क्वेश्चन को अच्छे से ना लिख पाओ. सो इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट यू आर एनालाइजिंग द प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन, एंड ट्रस्ट मी इट विल हेल्प यू टू आंसर और टू ऑप्टिमाइज योर प्रिपरेशन इन द मोस्ट इफेक्टिव मैनर. लेट अस मूव ऑन टू द क्वेश्चन नंबर 3. अब यहाँ चलते हैं. क्वेश्चन नंबर 3 इज okay, was the previous question covered by EduTap? The answer is yes, it was covered in the ESA chapter number 23 in a very precise manner. Now let us move on to question number 3. What is the institutional rural credit framework in India, and what measures can be taken by the government to improve rural credit access? अब ये कितने का है? 15 मार्कर क्वेश्चन है. ठीक है, अब 15 मार्कर क्वेश्चन है तो अच्छे से हम डिटेल में लिखेंगे, बट उसको जानने से पहले लेट अस सी दैट how in what category we can categorize this question. Was it easy, moderate or difficult? I would categorize it again under the easy to moderate category. Why is it so? Because if you have covered the syllabus in a detailed manner, you could have easily answered this question. You can see rural banking and financial institution in India is something that is a part of the syllabus, और यही आपको इस आंसर में लिखना था. ठीक है, कि कैसे गवर्नमेंट ने डिफरेंट इनिशिएटिव्स लिए ताकि रूरल क्रेडिट एक्सेस इंप्रूव हो पाए. फाइन, फॉर एग्जांपल ओपनिंग ऑफ आई वुड से these cooperative banks, for example promotion of differentiated banks, for example the small finance banks, fine, the payment banks, different kind of banks that are there. So you had to write these things as a part of the answer to this question. Fine, so I would again categorize it as a easy to moderate type of question, because same मंत्रा यहाँ भी फॉलो हो रहा है. कुछ ऐसा नहीं है कि आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स क्वेश्चन आ गया. अब ये मत सोचना कि यार सर तो सब कुछ इजी और मॉडरेट में डाल रहे हैं, डिफिकल्ट में कुछ डाल नहीं रहे. अब नहीं है तो मैं क्यों डालूं? मैं डिफिकल्ट में उस चीज को डालना पसंद करूंगा जो मुझे सच में लगेगा कि यार ये बहुत ही आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स है, बहुत ही अनएक्सपेक्टेड आ गया, स्टूडेंट इसको प्रिपेयर नहीं कर सकता था और बहुत चैलेंजिंग था, बट ये चीज तो डायरेक्टली सिलेबस से पूछी जा रही है. तो इट डज नॉट मेक एनी सेंस इफ आई if I'm adding this question as a part of difficult level question. Fine. Now let us see the answer to this question. So since the question is asking about the institutional credit framework, fine, institutional rural credit framework, तो आप उस credit framework की importance लिख सकते हो, that what is the importance of that. So you can talk about that it acts as a backbone of the Indian economy, employing over around 55% of the workforce. Fine. And this is also another, I would say, lesson that you can take. What you can do basically, the different areas that are there as a part of the syllabus, the different components that are there, the keywords that are written as a part of the syllabus, you should try that. You should have at least 1 to 2 data points for most of them. When I say most of them, क्योंकि हर चीज़ के लिए डेटा कलेक्ट करना थोड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है, बट मैक्सिमम चीज़ों के लिए आप कुछ ना कुछ डेटा रखो. ठीक है, कोई भी क्वेश्चन हो, कोई भी टॉपिक आप कवर कर रहे हो, तो एक दो डेटा याद रखो कि यार, और कुछ डेटा कुछ इस तरह का याद रखो कि जो मल्टीपल टॉपिक्स में यूज हो जाए. ठीक है, तो एक डेटा है जो टॉपिक एक्स में भी यूज हो रहा है, अगर टॉपिक वाई से भी क्वेश्चन आ जाए तो उस डेटा को वहां भी हम एडजस्ट कर सकें. तो जैसे ये है कि जो रूरल the institutional rural credit framework, it employs around 55% of the workforce. If you had such type of data, you could have easily added as a part of your introduction. Then let us talk about the first part of the body, that is institutional rural credit framework in India. Then the commercial bank, rural bank, cooperative banks, fine. Then NABARD, microfinance institution. ये क्या आ गया आपका first part of the body, because this is something that is asked, that what is institutional credit framework in India, what measures have been taken by the government to improve it. Fine. So you are writing that this is the institutional rural credit in India. What does it include? It include all these different type of banks, which ultimately you know that you cover it as a part of your syllabus in your rural banking. Then you can write that क्या measures लिए हैं अभी, तो measures लिख दो. Very easy to understand, fine, very easy to write. For example, Kisan Credit Scheme, then interest subvention scheme, Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, then strengthening cooperative credit structure, for example, creation of the National Cooperative Development Fund, then the expansion of regional rural bank. You must have heard that very recently government amalgamated few regional rural banks also. आप चाहो तो वो भी लिख सकते हो, ठीक है, ताकि उनकी performance improve की जा सके. So different initiatives we all know taken by the government in order to improve this banking system, in order to improvise the rural credit framework. Fine. So you could have written all these initiatives as a part of it. And lastly, what does it come? You can also talk about the outcome of the government measures. So I would say this is pretty much optional, because if you don't have the space, if you don't have the time, then you can avoid it. But as I told you, that we have tried our best to make the answer holistic, so that you get a good content regarding it. Fine. So that's why we have written it. Otherwise, I would say, since this has not been asked as a part of the question, so either you could have written it in a very precise manner, in a very shortened manner, or what you could have done, you could have skipped it if the time is not in your favor. Fine, if you're running out of time. And at the end, what you can do, of course, you can write the conclusion with respect to it. So that is how you could have answered this question. And what is the key takeaway? The key takeaway is that, first of all, कि syllabus again बहुत important है, बिल्कुल इग्नोर नहीं कर सकते. सिलेबस किया है तो सब कुछ किया है, ठीक है. दूसरी बात ये है कि कुछ चीज़ों के लिए डेटा कलेक्ट करके रखो. अब मैं ये नहीं कह रहा कि हर पॉइंट में डेटा जाके लिख देना है, वो पॉसिबल ही नहीं है. कोई भी जाएगा एग्जामिनेशन में, चाहे वो टॉपर क्यों ना हो जो सिलेक्ट हो चुका है, इट इज़ नॉट पॉसिबल फॉर एनीवन टू राइट डेटा फॉर ईच एंड एवरी पॉइंट. यू कैन नॉट डू दैट, बट यू हैव टू add data in most of the points. For example, 5 पॉइंट लिख रहे हो तो 2 में डाल दो, ठीक है, 2 या 3 में डाल दो, 3 में नहीं आ रहा तो 2 में लिख दो, एक 2 में एग्जाम्पल लिख दो. द मेन पॉइंट इज दैट योर आंसर शुड नॉट साउंड generalized. It should look specific. It should have some sort of value addition. That is the main point. Fine. Now let us move on to the next question. Question number 4. What are the objectives and the aims of Pradhan Mantri Vishwakarma and Swamita scheme? अब इस क्वेश्चन की बात करते हैं. स्कीम ओरिएंटेड क्वेश्चन आया है. Now a lot of students keep on asking me that what parameters should be considered while selecting a certain type of scheme in order to prepare for the examination. Now the thing is that I usually suggest two type of parameters. The first is that the scheme should align with your syllabus. ठीक है, ऐसा नहीं है कि कुछ बहुत ही आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स स्कीम आ गई है. मान लो स्पेस मिनिस्ट्री ने कोई स्कीम निकाली, ठीक है, अब स्पेस मिनिस्ट्री नहीं है, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी है, ठीक है, तो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी ने कोई स्कीम निकाली, तो साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी की स्कीम आपके डिस्क्रिप्टिव के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं होगी, बिकॉज इट इज नॉट समथिंग दैट इज देयर precisely as a part of your syllabus. ठीक है, अब मान लो फॉर एग्जाम्पल अ स्कीम इज देयर विद रिस्पेक्ट टू एग्रीकल्चर मिनिस्ट्री, फाइन, और मे बी बाय मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एनवायरमेंट, फाइन, अ सर्टेन टाइप ऑफ scheme is launched. So what you can do, since the scheme
is aligning with your syllabus, so you have to prepare it. The second parameter, now this is the first parameter, which is the syllabus. If it is aligning with your syllabus, then it becomes important. The second parameter is the impact factor. What do we mean by impact factor? The impact factor means that when a certain scheme is launched, it has a huge impact either in that certain sector or in the economy, or with respect to the society, that is with respect to women, or maybe with respect to the marginalized section of the society, the vulnerable section of the society. Such type of huge impact factor is there. तो जिन स्कीम्स का बड़ा इम्पैक्ट फैक्टर होता है और जो आपके सिलेबस से अलाइन कर रही है, आपको उन्हीं को प्रिपेयर करना है. जो छोटी मोटी स्कीम गवर्नमेंट लॉन्च करती है जिनका बजट भी बहुत कम है, ठीक है, और बहुत ही आई वुड से छोटी स्कीम्स है, बहुत ही इतनी इंक्लूसिव भी नहीं है, इम्पैक्ट फैक्टर बहुत कम है, यू कैन आई वुड से यू कैन skip those schemes for the descriptive paper. Or if you want to stay at the safe side, you don't want to skip it, so what you can do, you can have some kind of minimum information with respect to the scheme. ज़्यादा डिटेल में जाने की जरूरत नहीं, बस पता होना चाहिए कि स्कीम किस बारे में है. फाइन, व्हाट इज द आइडिया बिहाइंड दैट स्कीम, ताकि अगर क्वेश्चन आ भी जाए तो ऐसा ना हो कि आप बिल्कुल ही छोड़ दो उस चीज को एंड यू आर टोटली अनकंफर्टेबल. दैट शुड नॉट हैपन. यू आर एबल टू generate some information. But the main thing is that if you want to read a scheme in a detailed manner for the descriptive paper, then these two things have to be considered: the syllabus and the impact factor. And you can see पीएम विश्वकर्मा बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट स्कीम है, स्वामिता बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट स्कीम है. इन दोनों में से ऐसी एक भी स्कीम नहीं है जो बहुत ही ऐसे छोटी सी स्कीम हो एंड जो इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, जिसका इम्पैक्ट फैक्टर कम है. और आप कोई भी एग्जाम ले लो, चाहे आरबीआई का एग्जाम लो या नाबार्ड का एग्जाम लो, these two things have to be considered. Fine. Now let us say if you do not know the answer to this question, then what you can do, you can safely skip it, because you had to answer 4 out of 6 questions only. ठीक है, 4 में से 6 क्वेश्चन आंसर करने थे, तो आप आराम से इसे skip कर सकते हो. And you could have answered some other question as a part of the descriptive paper. Now let us see that how can we answer it. And इसको आंसर करना मुझे लगता है कि इसका स्ट्रक्चरिंग समझना ज़्यादा मुश्किल नहीं है, बिकॉज स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्डली बहुत ही आई वुड से दो चीज़ें पूछी है इसमें. द फर्स्ट इज ऑब्जेक्टिव एंड द सेकंड इज द एम. फाइन, द एम एंड द ऑब्जेक्टिव विद रिस्पेक्ट टू दिस स्कीम, अब दोनों का मतलब सेम ही है ऑलमोस्ट. बट द थिंग इज दैट यू द क्रक्स इज दैट बेसिकली यू हैड टू राइट द फीचर्स ऑफ दिस स्कीम. यू डोंट हैव टू टॉक अबाउट challenges and all those things. Let us say, अब देखो ठीक है, एक और चीज देखते हैं. Let us say the question is what are the objectives of the PM विश्वकर्मा. बस इतना क्वेश्चन आता और ये 10 मार्कर का क्वेश्चन होता, ठीक है. अब 10 मार्कर के क्वेश्चन में अगर पूछा हुआ है व्हाट आर द ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ऑफ द स्कीम, और आपको लग रहा है कि यार मुझे तो इतने ऑब्जेक्टिव या फीचर नहीं आते, मुझे नहीं पता इतने फीचर क्या है, मैं 2-3 फीचर जानता हूँ और मुझे नहीं लगता कि मैं उसका वर्ड लिमिट पूरी कर पाऊंगा या नहीं, तो देयर यू हैव टू एक्ट स्मार्ट. फाइन, इफ यू थिंक दैट यू वोंट बी एबल टू compensate for the word limit, then over there you can extend the information, you can stretch the information by writing other things. For example, you can write the challenges of PM विश्वकर्मा. ठीक है, अगर किसी चीज को आपके फीचर्स पता है, so you can generate the challenges also. Fine, for example lack of funds. ठीक है, lack of fund तो हर स्कीम में लिखा जा सकता है कि यार इस स्कीम में फंडिंग कम है तो फंडिंग बढ़ा दो, तो ये तो हर जगह लिखी जा सकती है. इस तरह तरीके से आप पॉइंट्स क्रिएट कर सकते हो, सो दैट यू कैन राइट द चैलेंजेस एंड द सोल्यूशन ऑल्सो. बट यहाँ पर वो लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि क्वेश्चन 10 नंबर का है सिर्फ, और 10 नंबर में दो स्कीम्स पूछी हुई है, स्वामिता के बारे में भी लिखना है, विश्वकर्मा के बारे में भी लिखना है. सो 10 नंबर में ये दो चीजें कवर हो जाती है. अगर यही क्वेश्चन 15 नंबर का होता तो तब मैं आपको बोलता कि हाँ, now you don't have, maybe you don't have enough words to write under the features of these schemes, so you can of course choose to write the challenges also, or maybe the solutions also with respect to the challenges, but in a very precise and accurate manner. ऐसा नहीं है कि बहुत ज़्यादा उसको एक्सप्लेन कर रहे हैं. तो वो डिपेंड करता है कि क्वेश्चन कितने मार्क्स का है. सो बेस्ड ऑन दैट यू डिसाइड दैट व्हाट टाइप ऑफ कंटेंट यू हैव टू राइट. सो ओवर हियर यू हैव टू बी वेरी प्रिसाइज, यू कैन नॉट बीट अराउंड द बुश. तो सबसे पहले एक इंट्रोडक्शन लिख दो जहाँ पर आपने पीएम स्वामिता एंड विश्वकर्मा की छोटी सी हेडिंग दे दी. यू हैव रिटन दैट व्हाट दिस स्कीम इज ऑल अबाउट. दीज आर द की प्रोग्राम्स दैट एम टू एनहांस द लाइवलीहुड ऑफ the traditional artisans and ensuring property rights in rural India respectively. Fine, so you can write the primary objective of this scheme. Then you can write a detailed objective or the detailed features कि यार क्या क्या चीज़ें आती हैं इसमें. So the objective is to empower the traditional artisans. Then it provides the financial support to artisans. Then skill development, cultural heritage, expanding market access. Similarly for the Swamita also, that establishing property right in rural areas, reducing land disputes, enabling access to credit, strengthening rural governance, and use of modern technology, because we know that Swamita scheme uses drones also, fine, for the survey. So that is also can be written as a part of it. And at the end, what you can do, you could have written the conclusion over there. And if you have followed the EduTap sources, then we have covered this as a part of our Scheme Tab magazine and July and August, and we have covered it in a very precise manner. Fine. So that is the idea. That is how you what is your learning from this question? The learning is that how to select the scheme. I've told you two type of parameters. The first is basically to see the syllabus, whether it is aligning with the syllabus or not, and the second is the impact factor. And the next thing that we have learned, that try to answer the question in a precise manner, write the information in the question based on the word limit that is asked in the question. Fine. So this question is for 10 marker also, 400 वर्ड का क्वेश्चन है, तो 200 वर्ड सौमिता के लिए and 200 वर्ड पीएम विश्वकर्मा के लिए. I hope it is clear to you. Now moving on to question number 5. Write a short note on dry land farming. अब बहुत ही छोटा क्वेश्चन पूछ लिया है, 10 नंबर का क्वेश्चन है. राइट अ शॉर्ट नोट ऑन ड्राई लैंड फार्मिंग. अब सबसे पहले इस क्वेश्चन को कैटेगराइज करते हैं कि इजी है, मॉडरेट है, डिफिकल्ट है. मैं बोलूंगा ये बिल्कुल इजी क्वेश्चन था. व्हाई इज इट सो? क्वेश्चन सबसे पहली बात है बहुत ही जनरल है. कुछ आपसे ऐसा नहीं पूछा कि यार प्रॉब्लम बताओ ड्राई लैंड फार्मिंग की या फिर फीचर बताओ, ऐसी कोई चीज नहीं बोली है. सो यू हैड अ ह्यूज स्कोप दैट हाउ यू वांट टू आंसर दिस क्वेश्चन, हाउ यू वांट टू डिलीवर द इन्फॉर्मेशन एज अ पार्ट ऑफ दिस क्वेश्चन. फाइन. और 10 मार्क का क्वेश्चन है तो ज्यादा लिखना भी नहीं है, ठीक है. 400 वर्ड के अंदर अंदर आपको इसको खत्म कर देना है. एंड व्हाई आई एम categorizing it again as easy or moderate level question, because it is written as a part of the syllabus. Fine. So you can see in the syllabus it is very precisely mentioned. Problems of dry land agriculture. अब again same rule. Syllabus cover किया है तो आपको एग्जाम में कभी प्रॉब्लम नहीं आएगी. फाइन. You will always be in a comfortable position to answer the questions in the descriptive paper, and you can see in all the questions that we have seen above, question number 1 to 4, I would say in question 1 and 3 syllabus was very relevant. In question number 2 also syllabus was relevant, but along with that the previous year question was also relevant because the question of financial inclusion was asked in 2023 also. ठीक है. और स्कीम में मैंने आपको बता दिया सिलेबस की क्या इंपॉर्टेंस है, और ये क्वेश्चन भी आप देख लो. इट इज वेरी मच लिंक टू द सिलेबस. सो आई एम रिपीटिंग इट अगेन एंड अगेन बिकॉज आई डोंट वांट यू to ignore the syllabus. I don't want you to underestimate the importance of the syllabus. It is very important as far as the examination is concerned. Now, write a short note on dry land farming. तो यहाँ पे आप क्या करोगे? सबसे पहले ऑफ कोर्स यू विल हैव टू राइट दैट व्हाट इज ड्राई लैंड फार्मिंग. और क्योंकि अगर आपने प्रॉब्लम्स ऑफ ड्राई लैंड एग्रीकल्चर पढ़ा होगा तो आपको पता होगा कि ड्राई लैंड के क्या फीचर्स होते हैं, कि मिनिमम रेनफॉल कितनी होती है, ड्राई लैंड में मिट्टी कैसी होती है, सॉइल कैसी होती है. फाइन. सो द क्लाइमेट, द सॉइल, द टेम्परेचर. फाइन. एंड व्हाट टाइप ऑफ रीजन इट इज फाउंड. फिर आप क्या लिख सकते हो? सोच के देखो. यू कैन टॉक अबाउट द प्लांट्स ऑल्सो, द टाइप ऑफ प्लांट दैट आर ग्रोन इन द ड्राई लैंड फार्मिंग रीजन. सो 4-5 पॉइंट तो ऐसे ही बन गए. तो अगर आपने थोड़ा भी पढ़ा था, you could have written this answer in a, I would say, in a good format in order to satisfy the word limit. और उसके बाद आप क्या कर सकते हो? अब आप देखो, अगर आप सिर्फ फीचर लिखोगे मैक्सिमम, जैसे मुझे 4 से 5 पॉइंट दिमाग में है, ठीक है. सो आपको भी 4 से 5 पॉइंट ही आएंगे या मैक्सिमम 6 पॉइंट आ जाएंगे क्योंकि आप पढ़ के जाओगे. तो यू विल बी एबल टू राइट 6 पॉइंट्स. बट क्या पता आप 6 पॉइंट लिखो और आपका 400 वर्ड का जो टारगेट है वो टच ना हो. यू आर नॉट एबल टू you are not able to touch the word limit. So in order to compensate that, what you can do, you have two options. First of all, you can talk about the challenges of dry land farming. कि यार ड्राई लैंड फार्मिंग में क्या चैलेंज है, इरिगेशन के चैलेंज है, ठीक है, सस्टेनेबिलिटी के चैलेंज है, ठीक है, इनकम के चैलेंज है, फार्मर्स इनकम गेट्स हैम्पर्ड. सच टाइप ऑफ पॉइंट्स यू कैन जनरेट. डिफरेंट टाइप एन नंबर ऑफ पॉइंट्स आर देयर. तो आप वो लिख सकते हो अपना कंटेंट बढ़ाने के लिए. या फिर आप क्या लिख सकते हो? आप लिख सकते हो द टेक्नोलॉजीज दैट आर यूज्ड इन द ड्राई लैंड फार्मिंग. फॉर एग्जांपल मिनिमम एग्रीकल्चर. फाइन. द मिनिमम एग्रीकल्चर नहीं, मिनिमल irrigation. For example, the precision irrigation that is there. Fine. Precision farming that is there. Drip irrigation that is there. You can talk about those things also. The type of technologies that are used. So it is all up to you that what type of information you carry and what type of information that you prioritize to write as a part of this answer. कोई information सही या गलत नहीं होगी. Main objective ये है कि आपको short note लिखना है dry land farming के ऊपर. But हाँ, features लिखना important है. Features is something that you cannot miss. After that, either you can write the challenges and solution or you can write the technologies that are used as a part of dry land farming. तो उससे आराम से आप 400 words touch कर जाओगे. Fine. So I hope it is clear to you. Now let us see the answer. So as I told you, first of all, what you have to do, you have to write some introduction that dry land farming क्या होती है, what is dry land farming. Then you can talk about the features with respect to dry land farming, that is the dependence on rainfall, the use of drought resistant crops is very common. Then the soil and water conservation techniques. Then the mixed cropping and mixed cropping and crop rotation is there. Fine, all such type of things are there. Then what are the challenges in the dryland farming? Fine, it is low. It provides low and uncertain yields, vulnerability to climate change, soil degradation is there, and how we can improve it. Fine, for example, with the help of water resistant techniques, drought resistant varieties ka promotion karna, then crop insurance. Fine, in a very precise format you can write it, and that's how you can complete your answer. And I have already told you the approach, that how to reach the word limit if you have the limited content with respect to the demand of the question. Fine, I hope it is clear to you. Now this question is easy. क्यों इजी कैटेगराइज किया मैंने? क्योंकि डायरेक्टली सिलेबस में से पूछा है, और मैं सिलेबस से पूछी हुई चीज़ को बिल्कुल भी डिफिकल्ट कैटेगराइज नहीं करूंगा, बिकॉज एंड प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड दैट इट इज़ अ कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम. आप एक नेशनल लेवल कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम में बैठ रहे हो, और आप एक सिंसियर एस्पिरेंट हो, और आपने उसका सिलेबस ही कंप्लीट नहीं किया, तो सोचिए कितनी बड़ी गलती हो सकती है. तो सिलेबस तो कंप्लीट करना पहली प्रायोरिटी होती है, उसके बाद ही करंट अफेयर और बाकी चीज़ें आती है. तो ये तो मिनिमम चीज़ है जो करनी है, और आई वुड से द बेस्ट थिंग इज दैट फॉर नाबार्ड आई वुड से मिनिमम इज ऑलमोस्ट सफिशिएंट. तो 6 में से 4 क्वेश्चन करने होते हैं, और इजीली अगर आपने सिलेबस कंप्लीट किया है वर्ड टू वर्ड अच्छे से, तो आप उस टॉपिक को, उस क्वेश्चन को आंसर कर सकते हो, एंड आप यू कैन स्कोर गुड मार्क्स विद रिस्पेक्ट टू डिस्क्रिप्टिव पेपर, एंड दैट्स वेयर आई वुड से यू गेट अ कॉम्पिटिटिव एज. And at the end what you can do, you can write the conclusion also. Now let us move on to the last question, that is question number 6. अब sorry to say but इस question को भी मैं easy to moderate में डालूंगा. क्यों? क्योंकि question पढ़ लो सबसे पहले. How does India's storage system contribute to country's agriculture and food security? और question आप देख लो डायरेक्ट सिलेबस में से है. Let us see the syllabus. You can see the screenshot over here. Controlled and modified storage, perishable food storage. The question has straightforwardly asked from the syllabus. So I would say कि ऐसा मत सोचना कि मैं जानबूझ के चीज़ों को इजी दिखाने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ, बिकॉज चीज़ अगर क्वेश्चन डायरेक्टली सिलेबस में से आ रहा है, सो व्हाई टू कैटेगराइज इट डिफिकल्ट. द पॉइंट इज दैट आई डोंट थिंक दैट देयर वाज a single question that was out of box or that was difficult as a part of this NABARD paper. Fine, so that is, I would say, is one of the conclusions or the key takeaways that you can carry. Then how we can answer this question, of course, first of all you are going to write about India storage system, और ये content आपके पास होना चाहिए, because perishable food storage और ये controlled and modified storage ये आपके syllabus का part है. तो आपके पास इससे related content होना चाहिए कुछ introduction के लिए, कि यार मैं storage को के बारे में क्या लिखूंगा, मेरे पास कुछ तो data होना चाहिए कि यार इंडिया में food grain कितना store होता है. Fine, and you can talk about some sort of scheme also. You should know about that, because this is something that is the minimum content that you need to know with respect to any keyword with respect to the syllabus. Then you can talk about, I would say, the introduction. Then you can talk about the role of India's storage system in food security, where you can write about the preservation of foods, of grains, then the buffer stock management, then about the public distribution system. Fine, then all these things you can write. Then you can talk about the challenges of India's storage system, and then after that you can write the conclusion as a part of the conclusion you can talk about the way forward also. Fine, so you can see I pasted a screenshot. I forgot to remove it from this answer, but the thing is that this question was also covered by EduTap. Now I hope it is clear to you. Now, as I told you, that the intent behind this session is not to provide you knowledge that what is a horticulture, what is storage system, also sort of thing. The only intent is basically how you can structure the information, what is the difficulty level of the question, and what is the source of the question. Fine. So that is something that I think we have covered in a precise manner and in a holistic manner. And if you will download the document, you will get this topic-wide distribution of questions also. For example, how many questions have been asked from these different topics in 2024 and in 2023 also. So that's how you will be able to know that what are the key or the important areas. Then after that we have this, I would say, topic-wide difficulty level also. This box is also there, and then we have the key takeaways. Then, by the way, these key takeaways I've already told you. As a part of it, if you're somebody who is preparing for this exam through self-study, then you can follow these sources also. Fine, as a part of it. And if you're somebody who does not want to go for self-study, maybe you do not have time, maybe you do not have guidance, because the thing is that if you will read multiple sources, the information is very much scattered. So it is very important that you have proper guidance so that you can proceed in order to cover the syllabus in a holistic manner. Fine. So either you can go for self-study if it suits you, or you can go for our courses also. Let me show you how EduTap can help you as a part of your preparation. So you just have to go to our website, which is edutab.in, and you can open the NABARD grade A courses. Fine. And under NABARD grade A courses, you can see that we provide two type of courses. The first is the NABARD grade A gold course, and the second is the silver course. Fine. As a part of the gold course, we provide the content for both phase 1, phase 2 and interview. As a part of the silver course, we provide the same content but for the phase 2 only. Fine. So here also you will get the live classes. Live classes hogi when the notification will be announced. Then the concept classes, which are the recorded classes that are already there. Concept notes for your I would say understanding. Whatever you have covered in the classes, you can read it through concept notes. Then the summary sheets for your revision. Then you will be getting the mock test, and later on, I would say, if you get selected, then we will be providing you free of cost interview guidance also. Fine. And apart from that, we have other things also. For example, we have NABARD grade A test series also. We have combo courses also. You can see if you want to prepare for RBI, IRDI, NABARD, because the syllabus overlaps up to a huge extent, so you can prepare for these competitive exams simultaneously. So I hope it is clear to you. So that is it from my end, and this document will be available on our Telegram channel. You can download it from there. And I hope the session was helpful to all of you. If you have any other query, any other doubt you want to make, you want me to make video on some other topic, you can write it in the comment box and you can let me know. So thank you so much. All the best for your preparation.